Hey Susan, I hope you can hear me. It's a little bit loud in here in the coffee shop where I'm at. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit louder. Sorry if I blow your eardrums out and you have to turn down the speaker in the first like 5 seconds. I probably look like I'm about to go to a baseball game, but I'm not. It's raining outside right now and gross. And I just wanted to wear something that was cool but comfortable because for some reason when it rains here, it doesn't get any colder. It's fucking balls hot and it's just wet outside. So the rain does pretty much no good except to the plants. But anyways, I told you I was going to make you a quick video about how I came upon my favorite two stones that I have at home. Um, I also have a piece of amethyst that I really, really like. I'm not sure where it's at right now. I don't know if it's in my apartment or not. I haven't really been looking for it, so I don't know if I have it in my possession. But I know I have it somewhere. So, my two favorite pieces of stone that I have are a white calcite and a brown jasper. And I'll tell you real quickly how I found the white calcite since I got that one first. There is a metaphysical store. There's a lot of them here in St. Louis, but you have to look for them. It used to be called the Enchanted Attic. I believe it's still called the same thing, but it used to be upstairs, like in a three-story building, so it really was kind of like an attic. Now it's on the first floor down, like in that neighborhood, so I just call it the Enchanted Store instead of the Enchanted Attic. Um, but I don't think they changed their name. So, anyways, they have these little boxes. That's not really a box, but like little boxes. And they're about this deep, and there's about probably 16 of them, and they're all like on shelves, like lined up, and each one, they all sit right next to each other, and each one has a different kind of stone in it. And I was in there, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many to choose from. How will I ever pick which one I like the best? And so I'm just looking over them, and I see a few that I'm really, really drawn to, most especially the white calcites. And I couldn't pick which size or shape I particularly wanted. Um, so, and that wasn't my first like choice of stone necessarily either. So here's what I did. I stood with my eyes closed, with my palm placed directly over the boxes, and I kind of just waved it over really slow over all the boxes of the stones on each shelf. And I did this like very slowly, and I kept going over them until I was going really slow over one part, and I stopped because I got this flash of just brilliant rainbow light in my eyes. And I was like, whoa, that's really intense. So I opened my eyes when I had stopped my hand, and I looked down and I saw the white calcites. And I picked the first one up that I could get a hold of, and I held it up to the light source in the room. And refracting from this stone was like a million rays of rainbow light. And it was really incredible to me that my intuition could see that with my eyes closed. And I didn't know that white calcite had that property until obviously I held it literally up to the light. So that was really cool. I decided to buy that right there, and I took it home. And it's brought me a lot of good energy since then. I held it in my hand, I had my hand in my pocket while I was giving my valedictorian speech in college. And it kept me from having a serious like panic attack because about halfway through my speech, like I wasn't nervous before I went on, but about halfway through I started to feel the energy of the crowd, and all those people in the room were looking at me and listening to me. And so I used that to help manage my stress. It was a good stress, but it was stress nonetheless. And at the end of my speech, I actually got a standing ovation. So I felt really good about that. My second stone that I have, I found at a different shop, and it's called Mystic Valley, and it's more downtown. It's not downtown St. Charles, it's downtown in like Brentwood area. Not that you know where any of this is, but so it's called Mystic Valley, and whenever you make a purchase at the store, they have like just a jar of just randomly mix and match stones that you can pick out of, and every time you buy something you get one of these little stones for free. And so I'm sitting here faced with this dilemma again, like, oh my gosh, like so many to choose from, what do I pick? And so I dumped them out, some of them, most of them, on the counter, and I'm just kind of looking, And I'm kind of picking them up, eyeballing them, whatever. And this one I pick up and I just hold it in my hand, and I sat there with it, and I just kind of let it absorb, let my energy field just take it in. And then I look up while it's still in my hand, and this tapestry that was on the wall, it was like this big, elaborate picture, and it literally just started like pulsating. Like it was like, woo, woo. And there was no like wind going through the room or anything. I knew that it wasn't being blown around by anything. It was my vision, my third eye was like open, from holding this stone. And I was like, wow, that's really intense. It made me actually kind of dizzy for a minute. I had to put it down. I can't, still to this day, can't hold the stone for very long. But when I feel like I need clarity or I need a new perspective, I definitely just kind of rub this stone a little bit, and it helps immensely. So I have, like I said, white calcite and brown jasper. You can look up the properties to each one if you want to. I looked them both up in my crystal book that I have, and they're both very useful stones for my personality and the type of life that I live. So I would really like it if you could tell me about a few of your precious stones that you have and how you came to find them and what they mean to you. That would be really awesome. And also, if anybody else is watching these videos and collects crystals or gemstones or anything like that, has certain ones that they believe have special properties, that's really cool. Tell me about it. I have a lot of theory, and I've read a lot about ancient Lemuria and Atlantis, and a lot of the Lemurians and Atlanteans had special powers that they kind of imbued into the stones before they perished as a people. So I think that part of it is when you find these stones, when you feel this connection to them, it's because there literally is spirit energy in them. There are people who have put their whole lives into these rocks, and they mean a lot to that person, so they should be treated with respect when you come across them, and they should never be destroyed or manipulated or used to your personal advantage. But that's a concept I learned from Wicca about the whole threefold law, and if you do anything to hurt somebody else, it's gonna come back against you, I believe. So, anyways, that's all I have to say, really. I have a few other stones, and I've owned more in the past, but I don't have them any longer. I miss them, which is weird. You wouldn't think you'd get attached to something like an inanimate object, like a rock, but it's definitely because of that energy, I think, that I feel that connection. So, I'm gonna go. This is getting long. Peace.